Hey, Savvy Squad. Welcome to another episode of the Dr. Sev Talks Money YouTube and podcast, where we empower women to manage money confidently and create a future of financial freedom, security, and opportunity. All right, so this is going to be a quick live where I want to share a couple of things that are happening in the news and just to have you be aware of some things that are happening and how it may impact your finances. So, the first thing I want to talk to you about is the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. For some of you may be familiar with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Some of you may not be. But I want to list out a few things that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau does for consumers. In 2008, we had a huge financial um, issue in this country. A lot of banks failed, a lot of companies failed. We had people that were making loans that were they were not giving the best loans to people, and therefore Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was born. Since then, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has fined banks billions, and I'm talking B with a billion, with a B, billions with a B of dollars because of shady practices. And right now, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is in danger of going away. And we want to make sure that you understand the things that this agency does for consumers. This is not political. It's what is this agency doing for the normal consumer? Okay. If you have an issue with your bank, there are laws on the books right now that will protect you, but there is no agency that enforces those laws. If you were to be defrauded by the bank, like what happened with Wells Fargo, there are agencies. I mean, there are laws on the books, but no agencies are there to enforce those laws. Therefore, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was born. And I'm going to share with you some things that they have done in summary. I'm going to be sharing a page with you with just a summary of things that they have done. Another thing is credit card fees. Your mortgage regulations, they are the ones who have been enforcing those things. So let me just share my screen real quick and I will show you a few things that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has done to help protect consumers. Big banks, big organizations, big business don't want this organizations um, to be viable. They want to get rid of it because they want to be able to charge what they want and with nobody to protect the consumer. If you're interested in making sure the consumer, you are protected, then you want to find a way to contact your senator and let them know the things that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has done. So let me share. Here are some things that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has done under the recently fired director. Okay, so as of 2024, the CFPB has recouped more than $14 billion for consumers, enforced consumer protection laws against nearly 300 companies, and processed more than 3 million consumer complaints against financial companies. And there's a link there. This is on the website, pirg.org. This is not the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau website, because the last time I looked, the website was down. I don't know if it's back up. But you can go to pirg.org and you can submit your own complaint. Okay, so one of the things that they've done is they've drawn attention to predatory overdraft fees. The banks make billions of dollars every year from overdraft fees. And one of the things the banks do is they pre-order your items, so that you have several overdraft fees when you several overdraft fees depending on how things are taken out of your account. Okay, the way this law was created, it was not created for online banking. It was created for paper checks. So when you send your paper check in, it was so that the check would get there, and then there would be no overdraft fee, because the check would get there after 7 days. They would process the check, and then any expenses would be taken out. But because online banking is so fast, your deposit and your payments might be out of sync, and banks are charging you $35. So they will reorder things so that 20 cents will cost you $35 or more overdraft fees. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has put things in place so that doesn't happen. Another thing is, what they've done is helping to get rid of medical debt on your credit report. Think about it. When I go to buy a dress on my credit card, that's my choice. Okay, so if I am overdrawn because of a consumer choice that I made, that is different from if I were to get sick. I don't have a choice in getting ill. If I were to get cancer, if I were to have a stroke, I don't have a choice. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has made it so that medical debt is not reported on your credit bureau, your credit reports. Doesn't mean you don't owe it, but it's not going to be something that's going to impact your credit, which is something that will impact how much you pay for a loan, how much you pay for your car. Medical debt is out of your control. And especially with these hospitals charging so much money, you know, this is a way to protect the consumer. Yes, you still owe it. They can come after you in court, but it's not going to impact your credit score. If you want your medical debt to impact your credit score, then you don't have to send a letter to your senator about the CFPB. Okay. And a lot of junk fees that a lot of companies are charging, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has helped to eliminate a lot of these junk fees. They're also helping to improve customer service at the big banks. A lot of the big three credit reporting agencies, which are Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, you would send in your request for them to investigate something that's on your report that doesn't belong. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was tightening up on them to make sure that they take those mistakes off, because they were very cavalier about not removing those things. So that's one of the things the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau does. Again, this is not a partisan thing. It is a thing that is protecting consumers. Okay. Again, one of the things they're doing is they're highlighting medical billing to ensure that credit reporting and debt collection harms credit reporting and debt collection do not harm military families. Military families are abroad, they're serving, there are things that they're doing. They're busy serving their country. But sometimes they may get ill, or their family member get ill. They can't get to, the financials to be able to take care of that. They should not be harmed because they're busy serving their country. So the CFPB is trying to make sure that they are protected in the event of any medical bills or anything like that is not harming military family. Because another side effect of that is military families, sometimes they will lose, the person who is serving may lose their security clearance because of a debt. So we're trying to make sure we protect our military families so they can serve and be at peace. They're also examining for-profit colleges to make sure that they're not charging and they're not causing harm to people who are attending those colleges. Because again, big business is all about making money, but the CFPB is about protecting consumers. They're also looking at the impact of big tech's entry into the payment space. How much are they going to have control now? How much control are they going to have? What kind of monopoly are they going to have as they enter into these payment spaces? They are making sure to protect deposit insurance guarantee, which is the FDI through the FDIC. They're making it easier for consumers to directly request regulatory changes. So they have open. They used to have, again, the CFPB is kind of up in the air, but they would have open time for submission where you could say, hey, this is going on. I want you to be aware of it. And then they would investigate. And um, when we petitioned the agency, they would investigate. And if they found wrongdoing, then they would make sure that things are put in place to protect, again, the consumer. And the other thing is it created and operated a Trump era task force in violation of federal transparency law. Okay, so the one of the things that it did was created a task force. And this is not this Trump era, but the one before, they had a they had a law that was put in place that, because of this task force that the CFPB did, it was in violation of that task force. But again, the intent was good, that they were trying to do these things. So again, the CFPB, the work that it does is invaluable for consumers, saving billions of dollars. You've heard of the lawsuits against Bank of America. You've heard of the lawsuits against Wells Fargo. All of that was because of the work that the CFPB did. So we want to make sure that we are telling people about this work and making sure that we are protecting this agency as much as we can. And again, this is not a political thing. It is a matter of protecting the our consumers. The other thing that I want to share is just recently, and I'm going to share this, 4 banks were charged in violation of sharing information sharing. 4 banks fined 132 million for sharing UK bond market information. This is the kind of thing that the CFPB would investigate and find these banks. So the banks: Citibank, HSBC, Morgan Stanley, and RBC was fined by the CMA. This is the kind of thing, again, that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau would do for those banks if they are in the US. So I hope that helps, that we understand the work that the CFPB does and how valuable it is for consumers. It is not about political anything. It is about making sure that consumers are protected and that big business and big banks don't take advantage of consumers. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you on the next live stream. I hope you found this helpful.